Good afternoon. So today we're going to make a cottage pie but with corned beef. I've I was taken away yesterday by the cost of beef. The mince is just ridiculous, whereas the corned beef here, I think I paid £2.05 for the tin from Lidl's, I believe it was. I don't have much in the house food wise. There's some potatoes that are well rescuable. I have the corned beef. I have a bowl of frozen vegetables, which I'm going to need to defrost, as well as some carrots. So I need to make the most of a limited amount of resources here, and I think cottage pie is the way to go. So what I'll do is I'll prep the meat. I'll defrost some of the veg, and then we'll get the pan on. Back in a few moments. Okay, welcome back. So I just threw it in the microwave for a little bit. You can see there's not a huge amount here. So let's talk through what we've got. We have the vegetable mix, which should be carrot, celery, and onion, the mirepoix, as well as some baby carrots here. Got my tin of corned beef, and I've also made some beef stock with just an oxo cube. So you'll notice I haven't worked on the potatoes yet. That's simply because I don't know how much I'm going to need to cover this. So I'm going to use a little bit of oil in the pan first. Can we see that pan? No. Okay. Let's do a move on the fly. Okay, much better. Okay, so there's oil in the pan. We're just letting that heat up. I should have had a spoon ready. Now, there's a little bit of heat. I mean, it doesn't need a sizzle as such. We're just going to pop, sizzle. Just going to pop this in first, the veg. Now, ideally, there'd be some onion here, but was onion in this? No. Okay, that's not the end of the world. But ideally, there will be some onion here just for this flavour. So, we're going to lightly cook this first. This is just to get some flavour going. Now, this base mix is usually pretty good for things like chilies and bolognese. Saves you a job because these are usually the base mixes for it. And the carrots were just because I had in the freezer. The other stuff in the freezer wasn't really suitable. Lots of root veg, spinach, peppers, that kind of thing. Doesn't really go with with what we're doing today. So we're going to give this a minute or two, and I might start editing. Actually, no. Going to get some salt. My camera's really awkwardly placed. Salt. Okay. So there's some salt in the pan. And every time I stir it, it just takes away the sizzle. There's a lot of water in here, so this will be a bit wet, but we need to get a little bit of that out, I feel, because we'll be adding more in. I don't think we need to do this too long. Just give it a couple of minutes. Because while we are going to cook this in the pan, it's also going to be cooked in the oven. So really, it can't really be undercooked as such. I mean, unless you're really, really poor at this. And the fact that there's so much moisture coming up already indicates to me that that we're on the right tracks here. Now, let's add the corned beef. Now, corned beef is a very fatty meat. I'm just going to have a look at for a second tin of this. So let's see what it is. Per 100 grams, fat's 14. That's actually not bad. A lot better than you'd think. Because I mean, if you're doing like burgers and things, you want like 20% fat, but maybe not when it's so concentrated. I don't know. What we kind of want to happen is for the corned beef to start to break down into mince almost. So what we'll do is I'm going to cook this off for a bit, and we'll come back because there's no point in you watching this. Okay, I think that's a good opportunity to come back. So the corned beef has started to melt. Just grab my spoon, I'll show you. So you can see it's splat straight away. There's no body to it once you get some heat into it. So this is actually doing what I wanted to do, because I wanted to basically cover everything and act like a mince. So we don't want this to burn or dry off, so we're going to add, how much have I made here? About half a pint of beef stock. So now it's going to start to simmer, to boil a bit. And I know boiling meat doesn't sound appetizing, but really it's just to make a, we're going to start to make a gravy within here. This doesn't look appetizing at all, does it? But I'm sure it's going. We've got some tricks to make it good. So we're going to start adding flavour. Now, what I've got here is a bit of brown sauce, just very cheap stuff. So this has got things like spirit vinegar in, canned molasses, so it's got a bit of sweetness, sourness. It's got various spices and things in, a bit of garlic powder. It's just a good all-round seasoning sauce. I mean, normally you would just have it on a bacon sandwich or something like that. Pepper, just ground white in this case, because it goes really well with corned beef. That was quite a lot I've just put in there. That's fine, that's fine. It'll get mixed in. Oh, pepper. Okay. This isn't looking particularly clever. Right, I'm going to turn that down. What can I add? Right. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic powder, I think. Because I've got no onion in here. So I've just got it powdered. I don't like using the garlic because I think that's just doesn't taste right. It's and fresh garlic I just simply don't have. So we're going to mix that through. Yeah. I've seen a lot of chefs use powdered garlic. I think there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, we definitely need this to cook down a little because I have overdone the moisture. That's fine. This happens. Now, I'll be honest, it's starting to look a little mincy. So it's starting to get the look I desire here. Okay. So there's quite a bit so far, but as I say, I expect this to simmer down. So what I'll do is I'm going to keep that simmer until it's reduced a bit. I'm actually going to start prepping some potatoes. And then all I'm going to do is mash some potatoes, add a bit of butter, a bit of milk, that kind of thing. And what we'll do is I'll get you back once it's ready to assemble, just so you can see how much it's been reduced by and the dish and so on I'm using. Okay, so we will be back.
And hello from the edit room. As is starting to become tradition, I had another mic issue. So anyway, let's have a look at what we've got. So you can see I've cut down the amount of liquid considerably just by simmering. And to be fair, looking at that, it doesn't look a million miles away from regular mince. I mashed some potato, added a bit of butter, a bit of milk, just keep it simple, you know. So really, we can already go into our assembly. Now, I found what appears to be the most impractical dish for demonstrating this, but actually works quite well. So all I'm doing, get it all in there. Um, so this is just a corned beef and veg mix. Unlike what I've said a few times, there is onion in there from the base mix. It's keeping it's not firm. It's it's hard to describe what it's like. It's probably got a similar. It's just softer than than if I was doing regular mince, but it's not a bad thing. So all I'm doing is I'm just flattening it down just so we can get the one roughly equal, roughly even all the way through here. So what am I doing? Probably going to get a fork or something like that. So yeah, I filmed this a couple of weeks ago and I've already forgot what I'm doing. It is a spatula. So we'll get the potato on there. You don't want to overboil it, but it's just mashed potato. If you don't want to do mashed potato, do some smash, whatever. It works fine. So as I say, just butter and milk in this. I think I might have put a little bit of salt in, not that it's particularly needed. Obviously, pour whatever flavours you like in. Garlic, cheese, anything that you would normally put into your mashed potato. So all I'm doing here, I'm just flattening it out just because I want it roughly even throughout. Because my intention is to bake this into about 4 portions. It might be 4 portions for me, but 4 portions all the same. And then what we're going to do is just going to get a fork, which is where I've gone there. And I want to make grooves on top of the potato. So the idea is here, if you've got grooves, it'll catch a little bit in the oven and go crispy. You could also throw a little bit of cheese on at this point if that's your thing. But I'm not. I'm keeping it simple, and in the oven it goes.
And we're back. So I baked this for about 15 minutes and left it under the grill for 5. It's gone slightly crispy on the top, but not too much. I didn't want to burn it. I've left it to cool for 10 minutes. So you can see I can already pick up the bowl. Let's get stuck in there. Okay. So you can see it's quite deep that's about 50-50 meat to potato ratio, which is kind of what I want. So let's actually try this. So the question isn't really, does it taste good? Well, no, that's a bonus. How does this compare to mince? But I don't have a comparison because the mince was so expensive. Anyway, let's give it a go. Mm. The potato balances out the excess pepper, so I've actually used the right amount. Okay, this isn't cottage pie. It's corned beef hash, but it's much closer to corned beef hash than it is to an actual cottage pie. But I'll tell you what, it tastes really good. I mean, the mashed potato, literally buttery, bit of milk. You don't need much to make a good mash. And that corned beef just adds a pepperiness. I'll tell you what, definitely not a cottage pie. But if I had the choice, the cottage pie versus this, whatever this is, now, I think I'd go for this. So, I think there's a model here, and that is times are getting tougher for people. We might have to we might need to go back a little bit and consider what we used to make. Corned beef did go through the roof price wise, but like I say, it's a good deal in Lidl at the moment. It was just over £2 for the tin. And I say a bit of frozen veg, few potatoes. I mean, ideally, I would have had an onion or something, but I'm happy with that. That's probably cost us 75 pence a portion, assuming 4 portions here. So I'm over the moon with this, really. So get inventive with your cooking. Don't be afraid to try things that are a bit out of fashion and give it a go, basically. So thanks for joining us. I hope this has given you a little bit of inspiration. Please let us know if you've tried it, or let us know what you want us to do. Obviously, your likes and subscribes help us keep going here. If no one talks with us I don't know what people want, and ultimately it keeps us the drive to keep going. So thank you for joining me. Bye.